once, down twice. 3rd and 2.
We are here to berate the bad patient.
That is not why we're
That's
here.
we are here. We are back. We are do the thing.
Roll the intro.
You know what's so funny?
What?
I remembered to say do the thing, but I forgot what the thing was. Not kidding. I am totally serious. I thought about it earlier. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta say do the thing. But what needed to be done after that?
Oh dear.
Oh, it's been a minute. It's been,
my.
let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's been 10 months since our last, well, I mean, essentially it's been 11 months since our last podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had a podcast since January.
Okay.
So you're a sad bunny.
I'm the sad.
For many, many reasons that we're going to get to in said podcast.
I'm
Yes.
the sad bunny.
You are a sad bunny. Where's my phone? Alright. So, we're back. We're back. I have notes.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah. This show is sponsored.
Bye.
Can you feel the funds coming in? Can you feel the money trickling down? No, you can't because there's no money. But this show is sponsored.
By whom?
Farr's Cards and Raggedy Tees.
Oh.
Yep. Farr's Cards and Raggedy Tees.
They have t-shirts for all occasions.
Everybody needs a Raggedy Tee. Everybody needs a Raggedy Tee.
True. I have lots of them.
Head on over to raggedytees.com or farrscards.com. Yeah, just do it, people. People, just do it. It's better than Nike. All right. All right. Well, before we hit the list, what you got for the people? You got anything for the people?
No.
I got whiskey. I think I have a Manhattan here. Yes, I do.
I can't have any of that.
Do you want to say why now, or you want to wait? Huh? Come on, speak up. You got to remember, this is not you on your phone time. This is you talking into the microphone that is 10 feet away from you time. Yeah. See, you're out of practice. I know you're out of practice. But the microphone is over there, and you're doing your what do we call that? You're doing your I'm in a loud place voice, which means you're super soft, as usual. Come on, man! You better pep up the. You better pump up the jam.
I already told you I feel weird.
I don't care. You gotta bring it. You gotta bring it. Good radio. Remember, good radio.
Oh,
you
dear.
gotta do good radio. And now you have an extra reason to do good radio.
Why do I have an extra reason to do good radio?
What?
You
We'll get to
have-
that. We'll get
You
to that.
have the
No,
extra reason.
I don't have an extra reason. You have an extra reason.
I don't have an extra reason.
Oh, yeah. Good radio. All right, so the first thing on my list. You got anything you want to talk about? You got anything that's been happening in the last 11 months?
I've been working a lot.
That's it? That's all you got? I don't believe you. You're making a face.
I don't know what else to say right now.
Do you... no big developments? We'll get to your current medical situation in a minute, but I mean, any other things? We did stuff over the summer.
We went camping.
We went camping. You now have the bug for the RV, Because you want it bad now?
No,
Because you
I
saw
just-
it, and you walked in it, and you walked around, and
I want camping.
You've done shopping.
I want out of the city.
But you've done shopping?
I would care less about having an RV. If I had a cottage, I wouldn't give a
Why do we have to have a cottage?
I said I would care less
I know, but
about
why a cottage?
Someplace
Why can't
to
it be
go.
a house?
somewhere to go.
Why does it have to be somewhere to go?
I just
Oh, you're
don't-
talking about a weekend place. I'm talking about a place outside of the city that we
I
live
want-
in.
Period. I want out of the
I know,
city.
but why a cottage? Why do people think that if they have a place, like, I could see if it was your second place and it was much smaller than your first place, then it might be cottage. Even though
Anything-
cottage meant bigger.
Anything that we
Country
get is going to
cottage.
be bigger than what we have. 'cause we have
Exactly, but it
nothing.
will also be the first thing. So if it's going to be the first thing, that's just a house outside the city. Which, okay, let's go. Chop chop. I need the house. I need the land. I need the workshop in the pole barn and heat and electricity. Let's do it.
Okay, we just get on that.
That's exactly what we need. So we can house the business on the same property and production can happen for Farr's Cards and Raggedy Tees and Leisure Jewelry, which apparently Keegan is kind of jazzed about taking over from you
Oh, good.
because you're blind and you can't see.
That's true.
But a bunch of pieces went on to the website, so...
Okay. I would be happy
But
to
I
teach her.
swear we had more than 16 pieces, so I don't know...
I did sell some, but there are more.
I gotta find them. But it's hard to look for things with
One arm.
a shoulder that had surgery in May.
Yeah, well, it's even harder when you have a shoulder who had surgery last week.
Why you gotta be bringing up the past? Why you bringing up stuff? I haven't gotten there yet on my list. Jeez. Yes, you are now the one-armed bandit. You are now living through my past. I'm telling you, man, we need that new hospital smell in the house.
So,
We need that canned so I can spray it everywhere because that is what we do. This is recovery season up in here. I mean, how many total surgeries are we talking about this year?
for the family?
Yeah, everybody. Aaron's the only one that hasn't had a surgery this year. Because his was the year
last
before.
year. So you've had one. I've had two. Keegan's had one. Well, two. Because she had that biopsy on her stomach. So, and your mom has had one this year.
6 surgeries.
Yeah.
Telling you, we should have just turned the whole living room into just a ward. And just cycled you guys in and out. Because, man, that is ridiculous. Alright. Since you're jumping ahead here. Let's talk about... Well, what surgery did you just have?
I just
Wait, what was the one before that?
my gallbladder
Oh, God. I totally forgot.
in September.
And then what? Last week,
The-
last Wednesday.
The 1st of November. So the 21st of September, I had my gallbladder out, and the 1st of November, I had shoulder surgery.
Same shoulder surgery that I had in May.
Yep.
How's it feeling?
It sucks.
It absolutely
I'm
does.
so tired, and I cannot sleep.
Oh, remember when I told you that I wasn't sleeping?
Yeah, now I get it. I went to bed at what, like 8:30 last night. Woke up at 10. No, went to bed at 9. Woke up at 10. Woke up again at like 11:15. Woke up again at like 1.
You know, taking pain meds will help you sleep.
I took stuff last night.
But you haven't taken anything today.
No.
See, hard-headed people. This is what I have to deal with. So everybody needs to comment on this video. Go to the Traveling Farrs on Facebook or Twitter or X. Stupid. And just head on over there and tell Karen that she needs to take her pain meds.
It says take it as needed.
No, it's not as needed in the first week.
It says as needed.
No, that's the Tylenol.
No, it's the tramadol.
No. That is what you need.
I don't need it.
It is absolutely needed.
Maybe for you.
Especially when it's less than a week. You'll see here in a minute. When everything wakes on up and you start having the real pain, because I don't know.
When everything wakes up, everything's been awake.
I'm telling you, you haven't gotten there yet.
Taking a shower makes me want to cut my arm off.
Why?
Because it
Don't move it.
It's
You cannot say a word to me because I've already been through it.
You just take off a shirt and put on a shirt. I have to put on a bra and take off a bra.
Nobody told you got to put on bras. You ain't going nowhere.
I need a bra.
You literally ain't going nowhere.
I need a bra. And
nah, man, you just tuck in your shirt. It's good.
I'm gonna go to work.
Just tuck it. What'd you say?
I'm just gonna go to work.
Go to work?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to work. I can't sit here all week doing nothing.
What are you talking about? We were talking about putting on shirts and bras.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through all this nonsense and put on clothes.
No, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. You work from home. I'm telling you, give yourself the work from home time to really get used to it, because that falling asleep thing, that tiredness thing, until you can get a good night's sleep, you don't want to go to work because you're going to be falling asleep at work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you're going to be in way more pain, but you definitely don't want to go to work and then be like sitting there dead tired. You can't get up and go run around, do anything, and you can't keep yourself awake. And no, you don't want that. Trust me, that ain't it. All right, what else we got here? All right, so you are now old.
You're older.
No, you're old.
You're older.
And so we had the birthdays last week on the 26th. And tell the people where we went. Come on, man. Spit it out, man. Let's go. No yawning. Say it with strength.
I said, I'm trying to speak, and you were talking over me.
I saw you yawning over there. Come on now. Go.
We went to Puerto Rico.
That's it? That's all you're going to say?
We went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, you got to do better than this. See, look at you falling asleep right now. You started to tip over already. Podcast over. Host is down. Already sleeping, yawning. She can't even hold your own head up. And you want to go to work. Yeah.
What do you want me to say? We went to Puerto Rico.
Okay, let's talk about this Puerto Rico trip, because it was a fiasco.
It wasn't a fiasco.
What the F? You forgot?
I didn't forget.
I think the drugs made you forget.
Listen, the whole trip wasn't a fiasco.
It was a fiasco. So,
Aaron,
we left here.
What part? Okay.
We left here on I don't even remember when we left.
We left
it was
on
a Sunday. It was a week ago.
Yeah.
No. We came back a week ago.
Yeah. We were gone for a week.
So, left here on Sunday. Drove to Detroit.
Yeah. Where was the fiasco there?
Got the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, drove to Detroit. Had to take the car to the park place to park the car. Then have...
No. We went to the hotel first.
We went to the hotel first.
And then had dinner, and then...
Then had dinner at the Mediterranean place, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't
that shawarma
Indian.
Was the bomb.
So we went there, which was okay, and then went to bed, got up very, very early, drove to the park place, checked in the car, got a ride to the airport because they have the shuttle. I think it wasn't our plane. We went Spirit Airlines. Let me say it again. We went Spirit Airlines. All of you that are now going, oh my God, why did you go Spirit Airlines? We didn't know better.
Showed in. We won't do it again.
We'll never do it again. Story continues. So, we got to the airport. I think our plane was delayed by an hour, 2 hours, something like that.
Like an hour, I think.
They were really late coming in to Detroit, or they were late coming into Orlando.
So our flight out of Detroit to Orlando was fine.
Right.
It was our flight from Orlando to
They were coming
Rico.
in from like New Jersey or something.
Yeah, and they were so late that the crew didn't even get off the plane.
Right.
They didn't have any like beverages or anything.
They had nothing, no food, no nothing.
No services. In fact, when we got on the plane, the airline attendant, she basically said, "Sit down, buckle up, let's go."
Yeah, because they were so behind, and they didn't have time to like even restock.
No,
they barely had time to like clean the plane.
Yeah, it was like
get all the luggage on, get the people on,
sit down, shut up, let's go.
Because they were so late. Okay. Get to Puerto Rico. Weather was great.
Got our car easy peasy.
Yeah. Rental car work was fine. Totally good.
Got to the Airbnb.
Drove over to. We stayed in Levittown. So that was fine.
Nice Airbnb. Which I still have to write the review for.
What are you waiting for, man?
What are you waiting for, man?
Oh, now you remember. Now you have a record.
Yeah. Now I remember.
The Airbnb was.
It was nice.
Was a really nice place. The only thing that was not nice was the stairs to get up there, but that whatever. It was just second floor, which was fine because it gave us a nice view.
It did. It was 4 bedrooms
of a lot of roofs, but it was
2 bathrooms.
Yeah. Yep. Fully stocked everything.
Yeah, everything.
I in my thinking about Airbnb, since this is only my second one, I guess I didn't realize that places like stocked everything.
Yeah, they're like right down to like cooking oil and spices and
soap and everything, but it wasn't like small things.
No,
it was like we lived there and we just walked in.
Yep, it was really nice.
Lots of spaces to sit and chill. The only thing that was for where it was, being in the tropics, being in Puerto Rico, is no AC unit in the main living space. Only in the bedrooms, which we lived in places that had.
Thailand, our house was like that.
Well, in Thailand it was like that, but I think their assumption was whoever bought that place was going to then put in that thing in that place. Whereas when we lived in San Shui, there was a unit in the living room that cooled
gigantic.
down the entire living space and kitchen. It cooled down everything but the bedrooms, and then each bedroom had their own control over their own small unit.
Then Egypt only had the air conditioners in the rooms. They didn't have it in the main living space.
Right. So I would say in the tropics, you definitely need that one large unit in the main living space.
If anything, to suck out all the extra moisture that's in the air.
Right. But then we would have had everything closed up, and I liked it better. I liked it better with it not all closed up. But because of the rain that we got, it didn't, like, after that first day, it never really got all that hot again.
No.
I mean, it was humid, but it never really got all that hot. So we were there, we checked out San Juan and Old San Juan so many times. Because we went there twice in just one day.
3? Wow, we went twice in one day, twice.
That's terrible. We checked out the old fort. We never got to the castle, though.
Because it was raining too much that next day.
And
I
don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like we just kind of went and chilled. We didn't really do a lot of stuff.
I'm okay with that. I was on vacation.
I know, but we didn't really...
I didn't need to be, like, running and ripping it all over the place. I do that every day.
I know, but we didn't really see much. But I think part of that was we kind of have seen Old San Juan felt like Puebla.
It really did.
So it was like just looking down the streets, the colors of the buildings, the style of the buildings, it was like, I've seen all this before.
Uh-huh.
It literally felt like
Mexico.
Yeah, like there was no need to go check out anything because what were you going to see?
I did like the fact that we came out of our birthday dinner and all the little coqui frogs were singing all over the place. It was so loud.
Yeah, it was.
It was really pretty. Just the whole area was really pretty anyway, but then to have the little frogs singing so loudly, it was nice.
Yeah,
I took
don't
a
know.
video of that.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like we needed to. Like, when you go somewhere new, you kind of want to see the place.
Yeah, explore.
It didn't feel like we needed to do that.
We did do our normal get out and walk around a little bit, but it was literally a tiny little bit because we just walked down the street to the beach. But then, even with my SPF 20 or 100 on, I still
SPF 100.
I had SPF 100 and I still sunburned in 20 minutes. Stupid. It's not funny.
It was funny because I swear I could hear your skin crackling. I was like, you got to get out of the sun.
And I was standing under the trees, the
Right.
palm trees.
He's like, you got to go now because, man,
I was sizzling.
You are having an issue because you were turning red and...
And I literally SPF 100.
Oh, that's so funny. So let's see. We went to dinner. We
met up with Brittany and her husband.
We met your friend.
You met my friend.
Who's your friend?
You met Hans, finally.
Who is that?
What do you mean, who is
Tell
it?
the people, man. The people don't know.
If you haven't been following along with the Traveling Farrs, my friend Hans Charles, I have been friends with since high school. He and my sister were best friends. And Hans is a professional cinematographer. He's Oscar nominated. He's a goofball. And he is also the co-host of Back of the Theater podcast.
Yeah, but what?
And Aaron finally got to meet
What would
him.
they have? What would the people have seen from Hans?
Of Mikes and Men.
You love that.
Wu-Tang.
You
I like that one a lot.
I think you just like to say that.
No, I like the Wu-Tang one a lot.
Yeah, but what
I
about the
learned
other
a
one?
lot. 13th.
13th is probably the one that most people would know him from, if not.
What's the
Mike's.
TV show he's doing now?
All American. It's called All American, but it's the next version. It's like a spinoff of the original show All American. What's wrong? You don't know what it is?
No, I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I think it's All American. All American something. I'll find it in a second. And
I don't know what else he's got so much. One Angry Black Man.
right.
That's a good one too. So anyway, you got to meet my friend.
All American Homecoming. Homecoming is that version of All American because All American is more than just. Anyway, so yeah, we got to meet up with him, which was
And his lovely
totally,
wife, Dee Dee.
totally
Random.
because we were just posting like on Facebook and stuff. Hey, we're in Puerto Rico for our birthday weekend, and all of a sudden he was like, "We're in Puerto Rico too." It's like, what
And your cousin's daughter, we're going to Puerto
I
Rico
know.
too.
It's like, what? We did not plan this. The
It was
people
really
we
nice.
did plan didn't come.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dawn came and Gayla and CJ came, but the others didn't show, which is
But we had,
weird.
yeah. So we were there with our patron.
Yeah. Your best friend.
With our patron. Speaking of patrons, you want to be a patron of the Traveling Farrs. So head on over to Patreon to be a patron of the Traveling Farrs. Because our patron is lonely. So get over there. Yeah. So Dawn turned 50. She's 50. 50! Which makes her old. Older than dirt.
I'm not old yet.
Half a century. You're half a century plus one.
What are you talking about?
Well, minus
Minus
one.
one.
Half a century minus
You're
one.
half a century plus one.
We don't talk about me because I get younger. I am like Benjamin Button. I just keep
You are
getting
not
younger
like
and
Benjamin
better
Button.
every year, while my body is literally falling apart. But I get better and better, so I don't get older.
Oh dear.
Unlike y'all.
I'm 49. Dawn's 50. You're 51.
Yep, you're old. All right, what else we got here? So we did the Puerto Rico, and basically there was a lot of rain, so we kind of stayed in most of the.
We had
A lot
2
of times
days of all
some
rain.
real rain.
Yeah.
Our first day was really nice. It was no rain.
It started raining in the evening, like around 10 o'clock. It started to rain.
Let's see. We went out to dinner one night. We went out to dinner our last night. What did we do? Oh, our
we
first
went out
night we didn't go out to
Thursday.
dinner.
No, we didn't go out on Monday. I cooked.
Right, we got food and cooked. So
And then cooked on Tuesday. Or did we order? Oh, I ordered pizza for them, but I cooked for you. And then on Wednesday, it was torrential downpour.
that was the day we went out.
No, we went out on Thursday. Thursday was our birthday. Wednesday, we didn't go out. I cooked.
You don't want to see the pictures online. I should put those let's all stick our asses out pictures. Definitely put those online.
What you talking about? I look good.
I should definitely put those
I don't know
online.
what you talking about because I looked fire in my red dress.
Yeah, okay.
So Thursday we went to dinner at Princessa.
What'd you think about the food?
It was good. I only had an appetizer,
Okay, but that doesn't matter.
but it was still really good, and
Was
the
that-
drink was delicious. Some coconut.
Yes, Karen was an absolute lush on this
Heck,
trip.
yes, I was.
Amazing.
I had a couple of ciders. I had that coconut drink.
At dinner?
No, I had the ciders like Monday and Tuesday.
Oh.
And then I had the coconut drink on Thursday. Then Friday we went to dinner. No, Friday we were going to go to
Right,
dinner.
and we couldn't.
And we couldn't because they were the streets were flooded.
It was being in Levittown meant that we couldn't just get a short ride to somewhere in San
It
Juan.
was like 20 minutes away from San Juan.
Right, and so when we drove, it was just like, yeah.
We got like 300 feet from the apartment, and the streets were literally flooded.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to get there. I mean, when you looked at the map, you know how it tells you if there's obstructions or, slowdowns or whatever, and it was like every road
Was red.
Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, we should probably just get some food and cook.
So we went to the supermarket, got some food for that night, and then for the next couple of days, not a whole lot, but enough. And then I went home. We went back and I cooked dinner, and everybody ate. And as soon as we were finished, the power went out.
The power went out. The generator did not come on. It was a generator.
And the generator didn't work.
It was right there. We saw it parked next to it. So I felt pretty confident that if we lost power, we'd have a generator. We'd be fine.
Because it's mounted up. It's way high, so it wouldn't be flooded out.
Yeah, it was a swing bang,
No,
and
it didn't work.
It didn't come on.
So
The owners came, checked it, didn't come on. They had to contact people. So we didn't have any power that night. We didn't have any power
all
the
the
next
next
day.
day, we ended up going to Old San Juan the next day.
Was that the day?
That was the.
Are you sure about that? I think that was the day that me and you...
Saturday.
We split up and...
Yeah. They went...
We went... Where did we go?
We went to go see the Umbrella Street, and we walked around
But
Old
we also...
San Juan.
Where did we go before that? Because we drove around... Oh, we went to get breakfast.
Yeah, we went to breakfast.
That's what it was. We were in San Juan, and we went to get breakfast, and then we drove around. Then we went over to Old San Juan and checked out what was the Umbrella Street that didn't have any umbrellas.
It just had a pink Puerto Rican flag for breast cancer
covering
awareness.
the whole block.
But we went to Layla's for breakfast. That food was really good. But the mimosa was delicious.
Yeah, this was Karen's
This
drinking
is my day of drinking.
Her let's get drunk day.
I was hammered. I had a mimosa, and then
I like how you say, I was hammered. I had a mimosa.
I had a mimosa, and then we went walking around Old San Juan and did some shopping, and we came across the place where the pina colada originated. And so we had to have one of those.
Had to have one of those.
And I had half of mine, and Aaron had the rest of it because I was hammered.
Smacked.
And then we went back and changed for dinner. Did we change for dinner?
I don't
think so. I think we went back and got all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed
No,
to...
I think we didn't change for dinner. We changed because so we weren't in our clothes for the flights and stuff.
Yeah, we changed into our flight stuff. Then we met Brittany and her husband for dinner again. Took all of our stuff with us because we were going right to the airport after dinner. Yeah. And this is where all hell breaks loose.
Keep going. Continue on. Don't stop now. You're on a roll.
So we were meeting them at this restaurant. We could not find the restaurant for anything. Finally, I'm like, let's just park. We'll walk. You know, finding parking in San Juan is a bitch, as it is. So we parked. As soon as we get out of the car, there's like this loud boom and this creepy guy just staring at us, like something like sparked overhead and like almost sounded like a bomb, kind of loud.
What sounded like a shotgun?
It was really loud. This creepy guy is just standing there looking at us, and we're just looking at him like, what the hell happened? And there were some electrical workers working on power lines, and a transformer had blown. So we started walking, and we get right around the corner, and it happened again.
I don't think they were transformers because there were no transformers.
There was something.
No, it was like they turned on the electricity, and it was getting to a part something else. It wasn't a transformer. It was something else where it was
Popping. But it was
because
loud.
when you looked up, you could see where the burn mark was, but there was no transformer. There was nothing there.
Well, you know, on old school electrical stuff, they have like little transformers where there's like a glass dome over the thing. I only know this because as a kid, there was a squirrel that got in one of those things and blew the transformer, and that's what it looked like, and that's what it sounded like. And then there were glass shards everywhere because that glass.
Did you see glass anywhere?
No, not in Puerto Rico, but when I was a kid, when that squirrel got in there and blew the transformer, that's what it sounded like, and there was glass.
Yeah, I don't know. It was loud.
Twice.
It was very disconcerting. But they were trying to get the power back on.
They were. So we went and had dinner, and dinner was delightful. It was very, very, very good. And I had a mezcal Manhattan with chocolate bitters. And they smoked the glass. That was the first time I'd ever had a smoked glass. And let me tell you, if I can have that again, that's going to be my drink of choice for the rest of the time.
You can do that yourself.
It was so good.
We can make one.
Yeah.
It's really not that big a deal.
It was delicious.
It's really a matter of the wood.
Well, it was the
use
chocolate bitters.
No. I'm talking about to smoke a glass.
Oh, God, that was so good.
It's just a base. You put a burning ember in there of the wood of your choice, and you turn the glass. You blow it out from it being on fire, and then you just cover it with the glass itself.
So good. And then we went.
And then you make your drink in the glass.
After dinner, we went and had drinks because we still had time before the airport.
Oh, we had time, all right.
We had time.
We definitely had time.
Our flight was supposed to leave at 2:38, so our plan was to leave for the airport about 12:15, because we were like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes from the airport where we were having drinks.
So it's like, okay, put all the stuff in the car. We know we got to drop the car off.
Yeah.
The drop off was right next to the terminal and everything. So head on over, do the car stuff, walk across, check in, wait another 30 minutes to an hour, and
be out.
That was the plan.
That was not what happened.
That was the plan.
So, right before we leave the bar, I checked just to make sure the flight is on time. And we had been pushed back an hour. So, we ended up taking Brittany and her husband and dropping them off at their hotel because it was right around the corner from the airport. Go to the airport, still do our stuff. We're like, an hour's not that big a deal. We go and you turn the car back in, get our stuff, go across. By the time we get to the terminal, our flight has now gone from leaving at 2:30 to 3:30, from 3:30 to 5:30. And I'm like, holy crap, by the time we get to the gate, it has gone from 5:30 to 12:45. And now there's a giant line of every single passenger for this flight lined up at the front at the desk. And these people are telling them they don't know how to help them. So I call Spirit.
Well, no. He was redoing flights.
For some of them, but the girl, she was like, I can't get you on this next one, whatever. So I call Spirit. And I'm like, hey, we need to know what's going on. You know, it's saying that we won't leave here till 12:45, but that means that we'll not be able to make our connecting flight. What do we do? So the guy tells me, oh, that's not a big deal. You just tell them that you need to be on the next available flight. They'll put you on the next available flight and you'll be home tonight. I said, okay, so I don't need to do anything. He's like, nope, you don't need to do anything. And so we were having issues with our seats as well because I'd paid for them, and then we weren't assigned the seats that I'd paid for, and there was a price difference.
That is a straight up scam.
There's a huge price difference, and it was just a mess. Which I still have to contact them about that, because whatever.
You need to go full Karen.
I'm going to go full Karen. So I was getting frustrated because he kept trying to cancel shit, but not fix anything. And I was like, I don't want you to cancel anything. I either want a credit or I want to reassign the seats. And he's like, I can't do either one. I can cancel it. I was like, no, you're not canceling anything. So finally I got to a point and I was like, listen, I'm going to hang up now because you're frustrating me and I don't want to go full Karen on you. I'm going to call back and get somebody who can understand my words and who can actually fix things. So I hung up on him, called back, got another woman who was even more stupid than the man I had spoken to. This chick actually said to me, there's nothing I can do unless you have your luggage in hand. And I'm like, ma'am, I am at the gate. My luggage has already been checked and is on the plane. How exactly?
It absolutely was not on the plane.
How exactly am I supposed to just go get my luggage?
Because there was no plane for it to be on.
Turns out, Spirit doesn't cancel their flights. They just keep delaying and delaying because even though they had no intention of our 3 o'clock flight or a 5 o'clock flight or a 12 o'clock flight, they weren't going to cancel, so they didn't have to pay. So they had given us a $14 food voucher, which, let me just tell you, 2 small coffees and a bag of chips is $17, so thanks, Spirit. And they gave us a $28 food voucher, and 1 meal was $42, so thanks, Spirit.
Bastards.
And that wasn't for both of us, that was just for a single person. So, I finally, was getting nowhere with this other woman, and I told Aaron he had to talk to her because I was so angry and so frustrated, I had to stop talking because I could feel me going into full-on Karen mode. And so I hand Aaron the phone. I'm like, just talk to these people because I can't. And he says, can I please speak to your supervisor? I'm like,
that's right.
Son of a bitch, I could have done that.
That's right. That's what, there was no other, well, one, there was a language barrier. The person was not.
Neither one of them could understand me.
So that right there, if she wasn't understanding what was going on with what you were saying that I heard, then me getting on the phone was not going to help the problem talking to her because she didn't understand what needed to be done. She was not getting what we needed because we had a connecting flight and we were going to go into Tampa, and the next connecting flight was like 24 hours or whatever after we landed.
Right.
Next available is irrelevant if there isn't anything available the same day.
Yep. So we ended up, I had to speak to the supervisor, and he did what I didn't want them to do, was cancel our reservation and change it. Because if they cancel your reservation and change it, then if there's a problem in the next flight, you're fucked.
Well, you just start all over again.
No, you're fucked because now you have to pay.
Pay what?
You have to pay the difference. If there's a difference in fees or whatever, you have to pay to make changes. This is where Spirit gets people. So,
did we pay?
No.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
Then why didn't we pay?
Because I had insurance.
Oh.
And because I had insurance and they were delayed and we couldn't meet our stuff, they do one change for free. So we ended up switching our connecting
everybody
flight.
On that flight had to change.
Yeah, everybody. So we changed our connecting flight from Tampa to Orlando, which we had flown through Orlando to begin with. So we finally got on the flight at like 3:50. We were supposed to...
Stop. You have
I'm
skipped
sorry.
over a ridiculous amount of hardship and pain.
10 hours or 15 hours. We were in the airport.
What are you talking about?
Before we got on the plane, we were in the airport for a total of 15 hours. So Aaron goes, while I'm talking to the supervisor, Aaron goes to get the baggage.
So I go back and talk to the guy at the desk where we checked in. Tell him the situation and tell him what you were being told by his company.
Yep.
That's what I did. And he says, you need to go get your luggage. It's on the carousel downstairs. So I was like, okay. Because I needed to get the luggage to recheck it in anyway.
Right.
So I go downstairs, which I had just walked by it, did not realizing that our luggage was sitting there. I went back down, got the luggage, came back up, stood there and waited for him to deal with other customers. When he finally got, the sense that maybe I should help this guy that I just sent away to get his luggage, and then he helped me, and his help was, I can't help you.
Right, you can't check your luggage in until 11:30 in the morning.
It couldn't be more than 4 hours before the flight.
And this was 2 a.m.
And so I'm standing there going, so wait a minute. My wife is over there she's at the gate sitting there talking about getting our flight changed. If she's gotten the flight changed, but we can't check in. So now I'm outside
at the terminal
and she's inside. And now I have to just sit here for the next
6 hours.
6 hours waiting for 11 something. And when you're outside of your, before you check in, most airports don't really have much over there.
No.
There's not a whole lot to everything. Of course, everything was closed because it was the middle of the night. But there's still not much there. There's not many food options. There's just not, you got a bathroom. There's nothing on that side. Everything is on the, after you've gone through security side, you've got plenty of options for lots of stuff. Yep. Being stuck on that side isn't as bad because, you're basically stuck in a mall.
Right.
With seating. So Karen came back out and we sat there.
It was so flipping cold in there. I had on jeans, socks, tennis shoes, a long sleeve t-shirt. I took my hoodie from my luggage and my rain, like my London Fog trench coat and my gloves, and I was still shivering.
Hey, because you took my coat at some point.
Yeah, I did. And then you looked really cold, so I gave it back.
Oh, I was frozen. I wasn't really cold.
It was awful. And we were there for 15 freaking hours.
Yeah, it was, and the guy, they didn't care at all.
No!
They literally didn't care. It was just like...
It's like their everyday shit. Because I watched the Spirit staff, because we were sitting near enough that we could see the staff. They did not have a single flight. Not a single one until the 3:45 flight in the afternoon. But all of these people were coming and being sent away all day long.
Yeah, but see, if you
were still selling the flights.
Lived on the island, it was a matter of you just going home and coming back later.
Right. But here's the thing. When you went on their app to go buy, like, flights, they were still selling the flights that were not flying out.
Yep. Yeah, Spirit Airlines, never again. Never again. I like when you start sending messages and saying things on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, send us a direct message." No, fuck you. I'm not sending you anything. Just never give you our money again. Ever in life. And I'll never tell anybody that your airline is a good airline.
Ever.
And take it. And guess what? JetBlue, who owns Spirit Airlines.
We won't fly your ass
Never
either.
going on your airline. Never, never, never. And nobody should.
You can't even get a glass of water on Spirit without paying $8.
Well, I think that's a problem of flight in America.
That's disgusting.
Well, that's just flight in America. I mean, just like the whole luggage thing and paying tons of money for overage.
Oh yeah,
$100.
I paid $100 for the luggage, and then I ended up paying $80 over weight fee.
Yeah, I think what's happening in my seeing this, when you look at other countries and how comfortable their flight experience is, they want people to fly.
Air Canada, Malaysia Air, those are the best ones. Even Air China.
What is the one, the Dubai one? The
Qatar,
Qatar.
Emirates.
No,
Emirates.
there's Emirates and there's a
Qatar Airways.
Yeah, there's Qatar.
I'll never fly that.
But understand that everybody around the world, they're trying to make it so that flying is a good experience. It's comfortable. They're helpful. They're trying to do that, which is what used to happen in the United States.
No.
Now it's like the United States doesn't want people flying. But here's the kicker: there's not really another option for us. Whereas in those other countries, they do have options. They've got a train that rivals flight.
Yeah.
So you could get on a train and be as comfortable or more comfortable than flying, and you're not tied to a chair. You can get up and walk around, and you can go to a meal car, and you can, you've got a lot more options. We don't have really train as an option for our travel.
No.
Not like other countries have train as an option. Not if you want to get there with if riding the train is your vacation, we got that.
Sure.
But if you're trying to get,
you a week to
if you're
get
trying
where you
to,
gotta go.
but that's just it. You're not. That's why I said if riding the train is your vacation, then fine, we can do that. But if you're trying to go from Michigan to Vegas and you're gonna think you're gonna ride the train,
no,
you're not. Your Vegas time is going to be very limited.
You aren't gonna get there for a week.
Well, you'll get there eventually. It's just like riding the bus. You'll get there eventually. All right, so tell them finish the trip while I empty.
So we were supposed to get back to Michigan at 2:30 in the afternoon, which would put us back to Grand Rapids about 5 o'clock-ish, depending on traffic, whatever. We didn't leave Puerto Rico until like 3:50 is when we finally sat down on the plane, even though we were supposed to fly out at 3:32. So we didn't take off until after 4 o'clock, which means we didn't land in Orlando until like 6 something. And then, thankfully, we got off the plane and we were right at our gate. We didn't have to go anywhere else. We just went and found a place to sit down for half an hour before our next flight boarded. So then we flew from Orlando to Detroit. And as we landed, we're taxiing to our gate. They announce on the flight that our luggage will be at carousel number 2. So we get off, we go to carousel number 2, everybody's waiting. There are already like 3 suitcases sitting there and just a couple of other items sitting there, and the carousel's going around. But you look up on the screen and there were literally 6 flights that were going to carousel number 2. We waited for 40 minutes for our luggage. Now there's probably 200 people standing around waiting for luggage at carousel number 2, and the luggage is coming out very slowly. And I look over and I see our luggage pop up on carousel number 3.
Well, see, our flight had disappeared from carousel number 2.
Right, so
I just didn't know where it had disappeared to.
Because none of the other boards were working. They weren't on.
I'm about to say, it wasn't that they weren't working.
They weren't on.
They didn't turn it on and they didn't move the flight over there.
Right. So I rush over and get our luggage, and then Aaron comes over and helps me, and then goes back and tells some of the other passengers, hey, check over here. We just got our luggage from over here. And then we go up, and in the meantime, I had called to get the car service to come pick us up, let them know, hey, we're back. Go ahead and get our car from wherever you store it. We get up there. It is snowing. It is raining. It is cold. And
are you complaining about Michigan?
yes.
Ah!
So we have to wait like 15 minutes outside for the shuttle. Get on the shuttle, go back to get our car, and now because of Spirit Airlines and their fuckery, I owe more money for our car.
Right.
Because we were supposed to pick our car up by 4 o'clock on Sunday, and it is now midnight. It's like, it's midnight.
Yeah, we had to pay for a whole nother day.
So I get up there, and the lady's like, it's going to be an extra, this amount. And I was like, man. So I go grab my wallet, come back. I was like, see, here we go. You got to make him right. She's like, what are you talking about? And I said, my husband said we're going to end up paying more. And I was like, no, we'll get there before the end of the day. And she's like, oh, wait a minute. He's going to be right if I charge you? And I said, yes. She said, honey, put your card back in your wallet. I was like, what? She's like, oh, we can't allow a man to be right. I was like, damn, Skippy. I put my card back in my wallet, and she didn't charge me. We'll be using them again.
Burn your bra. Women power.
We'll use her again. She was nice.
It was a
very,
as far as I'm concerned,
Valley Connections is the spot. The
it
other
was
place
okay.
that we did before.
Well, the other place was basically all self-serve. So
right.
you drove your car, you parked your car.
You called
they
them.
had a shuttle.
Yep, but you called them and said, "Hey, I need the shuttle to come pick me up."
They had a shuttle. They took you. They picked you up.
Yep.
And then you just walked back to your car. I mean, it really wasn't that bad.
No, but this was nicer because our stuff was inside a building.
The fact that they parked your car somewhere and then had it inside when you got there, I would say that that's more desirable in the winter.
Hell yeah.
But in a summertime, I don't know if the other one was fine. It wasn't like a big deal.
No, but it was nice that it was inside and...
Yeah, because it was cold and...
rainy.
Yeah, but if it wasn't that... Nothing that... They didn't do anything special, like... they didn't do another service or anything that we didn't get with the other one.
No. So, we ended up leaving there to head home at like 1:45 a.m. I was supposed to be to work at 8:15 the next morning. Now, I keep in contact with my assistant all the time, and so I had messaged her when I got back to the terminal after the whole 3:30 flight change situation and let her know, hey, I'm going to be late. I'll be there. I just don't know what time I'm going to be there. So, at this point, we had been awake for like 46 hours. Aaron had dozed off a couple times here and there. I had tried to doze off.
I tried very hard to go. Well, because the night that the power went out meant that I didn't have access to my CPAP machine.
Right.
So because I didn't have access to the CPAP machine, that means I did not get any sleep.
Right.
So then there was that night. Then we went the whole next day.
Walking around in the heat.
And then we had dinner and all of that stuff.
Yep.
So that night was not a night of sleep at all. So it was us sitting in the airport
shivering our asses
not
off.
Sleeping because no CPAP machine there. And then we got back. So I basically, from that flight, I tried to sleep on the flight from Orlando to Detroit.
And I couldn't fall asleep.
But you didn't need to. I needed to.
Well, I kind of needed to because I was freaking tired.
Okay, being tired is one thing. Having to do another drive for 3 hours
that was the
from
problem.
Detroit back here, that's why I needed to be awake. So I tried to sleep.
Well, and then as soon as we got in the car, we went and got some food and you got some coffee. And I promptly fell asleep. I could not stay awake. I just kept waking up every 15 minutes or so. But I could not keep my eyes open.
Yeah, I was barely keeping my eyes open.
And it was raining so hard and
yeah,
tons of construction.
Yeah, it was an interesting ride back.
So we got back here at 4 o'clock in the morning because of the rain and the construction and the sleepiness. And then I ended up getting to work at 10. I got up in time to take Aaron to work, and
yeah, I went to bed at 7 something.
I got up at 7:45.
And slept for 34 hours and then was up again. So that was the Puerto Rico trip.
So the whole trip wasn't a fiasco.
Unfortunately, the Spirit Airlines stuff made the trip a fiasco to the point where that's what I remember.
That's sad because the whole thing wasn't a fiasco, but
we didn't do anything.
What did you want to do?
No, I'm just saying we didn't do anything that was oh, that was the really good part of the trip that overrides all the crap that we went through just trying to come back. We didn't do anything else. It wasn't like we did a bunch of stuff or we just kind of relaxed.
I intentionally didn't do a
No.
bunch of stuff.
I'm not saying I wanted to do a lot of stuff. I'm just saying we didn't. So when I think about the trip, I think about the last day. You know what I'm saying? But Karen wants to move there now. What are you doing? Oh God, she's working.
No, I'm not.
She's working. I can see it on her face.
I'm not working.
She says she's not working, but she's working.
I'm not. Texting Aaron.
I know that's work. Your thumbs are going. You have fierce thumbs of fire over there going. Anyway. I think it would be a nice yearly trip.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to go during the rainy season.
No. Probably not.
Alright. So, done with Spirit Airlines. Thank you, but no thank you.
Ever again.
It's funny, they were talking about, somebody said something about free tickets or free.
Yeah, I had
something.
gotten an email saying
there's
that.
no way in hell.
I got an email asking if we'd volunteer to go to a different flight because they'd give us a voucher, and I was like, I don't give a shit what you're giving me. I'll never ride your shit again.
No, it's no.
Fuck you.
Absolutely no.
Absolutely not.
All right. I put on here Halloween. What did I put on? Maybe, okay, Halloween happened. Did we have anybody come to the door for candy?
I don't know.
I don't think we did.
I was working.
Yeah, nobody came. And I saw this. It was snowing on Halloween here in Michigan. But, and I mean, it was significant snow. We had an accumulation that day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to scrape.
It's all gone now, but it was snow, not just flurries.
I want to say it was 2 inches.
But not one. I saw somebody else saying that nobody came to their door in another
In
state.
Muskegon, they postponed Halloween because of the snow.
You can't postpone
trick or
Halloween
treating.
because as soon as you don't come, the candy gets magically sucked back and you don't get candy no more. All right.
Is it hot?
Here is the what we got.
Is it hot?
What is this?
Why would you bring me cold food?
Why would you bring cold food?
I eat cold food.
Oh,
But you know me.
God.
Have you met me?
oh God! What did you order up from the upstairs?
A plate. I'm
A
hungry.
plate of what?
Food.
What did you order? I want to know.
I just said make me a plate.
Of
Food.
Anyway.
I saw broccoli on there. I don't
I
know
put
what-
on here planning for homecoming 2024 in TU.
We started planning. I already started looking for everything when we were in the airport.
So, what are the traveling Farrs going to do for homecoming at Tuskegee University in 2024?
I'm hoping to have an RV.
All right. So, the whole RV thing. Oh, I think the RV thing is fine. I do think if we're going to rent an RV for that kind of a trip over multiple days and driving and like renting it here and driving it down, we need to have done that before we go. Even if it's a short thing, even if it's for a weekend, pick it up on a Friday, turn it in on a Monday, kind of thing. But we need to understand what that is like. We don't want the big trip to be
Our first.
the first time that we're doing the RV life.
Okay.
And maybe we just go to somewhere in Michigan, just drive up north or, way up north,
Like Tosti or something.
up there somewhere, up there with the Upers, something. Go to a national park or, do something, but we need to do something earlier in the year so that, one, we'll know what we need to take with us. We'll know what it's like to live in it. Kind of what we did with the camping thing, because we got a lot of stuff last year for camping, so a lot of that stuff could go with us.
Right.
But yeah, I think we need to do something like that. Do some business like that. So,
Thank you.
Aaron, say hi to the people. No, you cannot say hi and use your fingers. Say hi to the people.
Rude.
Waving is not a thing. You don't even want to laugh loud. Look at you. You're holding it all back. This is what happens when you wear Adidas on your chest. You're a sad podcaster with bad radio. I have a face for radio. All right. So, my next question. Should we try to sell at homecoming?
Ooh.
Raggedy tees and Farr's cards.
Well. You want to work?
I want to make the monies.
We could, but what do we have to do for that?
A lot.
How much is it going to cost us?
A lot. There's significant investment in and we'd have to take what we have to sell.
Yeah.
So, something to consider. And we'd have to put it, it's not only a lot to sell, but it would also be the upfront cost for all of the things to make, to have on hand to sell. And the time and energy it takes to make all that stuff, whatever that stuff is, to sell. And to have the display type things purchased in order to sell. There's a whole lot there. And it all has to go with us. So, something to think about. I was thinking maybe we need to try to do the the local festival type circuit and all that kind of stuff, but that still means we have to do all that same stuff, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that might make us have our stock up.
Yeah.
Because we're getting ready in the summer or whatever, spring, summer, to do that kind of stuff. So it's something to think about. Something to work towards. All right. You got anything else about the stuff that we've been doing and the things going on? Because now we're moving into the new news. Like news. You're gonna push that off your body. How did you not realize you were literally throwing the plate off of yourself?
Because I can't feel
Maybe
it.
you should hold it. Wow. See, this is what happens when you have surgery. And and you ain't ready for prime time after your surgery. Whole broccoli florets are just going in the face hole. I swear you literally just put a whole head of broccoli in your face hole.
I did.
All right. I wrote down. I was watching the Morning Joe, of course, and they're talking about the backlash against Jews in America right now, which has always been, and how, you know, they're having a hard time, like, on college campuses and stuff like that, and because they're being attacked.
Why?
What do you mean, why? There's a war?
What?
You know that there's a war
I
happening?
do. It's been going on for 5 weeks, but
There you go.
why
Okay.
does it? What the hell does that have to do with
Because
us
the
here?
people that are supporting Palestine want the people that are supporting Israel to stop. That's why. You gotta understand, we are the strong big brother to Israel. Our foreign policy is to prop up Israel.
Yeah.
And Israel is now retaliating due to being attacked by Hamas. And we are backing them up. You know, we're helping them in lots of ways. Lots of stuffs. What are you pointing at?
Touchdown, Minnesota.
Who cares?
Me?
Anyway, you got to get a quarterback now. I think your quarterback's out for the rest of the year.
Right.
But they were trying to equate what Jews have historically gone through with what black folks have gone through during slavery. And it's like, okay, Jewish people and black folks, these stories are not comparable.
Nope.
Stop trying to make it seem like, and the other side of it is, black folks in America, we're dealing with just America. We're not dealing with the world. Whereas Jewish people are dealing with everybody, every country is coming after Jews. Like, American black folks are not being persecuted by England. So, black folks in England are, but, American black folks are, that's not a concern of theirs. But Jewish people are being attacked because they're Jewish, because of their religion. It's much like what we did to Muslims after 9/11. Most people did not want Muslims even in the country, after 9/11. But this idea that they're going to try to equate the two things, I 100% disagree with. It's like, no, it's not the same. We're not dealing with the same things. Stop trying to put those two groups together like the stories go together. They don't go together. And you always hear that. You always hear the Holocaust and slavery like they're equal. It's like, they're not equal. Those people that were Jewish were living in their home countries.
Uh-huh.
A German Jew was not a German Jew because they came from somewhere else. They were a German Jew because they were born in Germany. They were Jewish by religion. Their nationality was German, and they were pushed out of their country.
Right.
Same with Russian Jews. Same thing with British Jews and English Jews. They were in their countries. So black folks weren't. It's not equal. It's not. Don't even try to put them together. And they kept asking the question, why the Jews? Why are the Jews being persecuted worldwide? And it's like, why don't you know history? It's like, Jews have always been persecuted, especially after Jesus.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm just getting my socks.
Getting your socks? Why don't you have the boy get them?
Because
He's right there. He literally had to walk by him. But I don't get why people act like they have amnesia to why Jewish people are being attacked and persecuted by Christians all over the world, because they have been the scapegoats for everything bad for a very, very long time. So I don't get that. I don't understand why they're acting as if it doesn't make sense. It's like it made sense before, and I don't get that. The other side that I don't get is why. No, I lost my thought. Came over here with fuzzy socks. I forgot what I was going to say.
Look at your notes.
No, it's not written in there. But I guess I just don't understand, like, the whole denial of history to the point where it's like, Jews weren't necessarily welcome in the United States at one time, or England, or all the places where we act like they're, are so progressive today, kind of thing. But anyway, don't try to equate. I asked you if you wanted a blanket.
You did.
And now you're trying to cover yourself up with one arm with a sweater.
That's not a sweater.
This is sad. Anyway, what else do I have on here? I have on here, Bob Knight dies.
Yeah. We lost a lot of people in the last week.
He was 83 years old. Karen says it's sad. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, well, I can see that some would not think it's sad.
I mean, Bob Knight, it's funny, somebody said if there was a Mount Rushmore of college coaches for basketball, he'd be on it. And that's probably true.
With an expletive symbol in front of his mouth.
No, whatever. But Bob Knight was not a nice person. Not at all.
No.
And
in fact, he was notorious for not being a nice person.
Right. Well, I like have no feeling. One, he's 83. Okay, fine. And he was very successful. And his players would literally eat glass for him. Most of them. Some of them. But okay. I don't like the idea that people are going to come out and they're going to try to wash away who that man was.
Yeah.
And how how much of a negative influence he was on the individuals on his teams, as opposed to the success that his teams had.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Aaron said it the best. His teams didn't dare play less than what he expected.
Right.
Because of the retribution of him.
Yeah.
And I think while a lot of coaches were like that at one time, the ones that we know about that we hold up, they grew out of it and they became better people. But he never did.
No.
And so there's that. And I've already done our number 11, which was another surgery for Karen. So, you didn't talk about your surgery. What'd you get this time? Go ahead and say it.
I just had my shoulder done.
Shoulders. It's not have my shoulder done. That's not what that is. This is not cosmetic surgery. This is not like, getting Botox or something. You had a rotator cuff repair.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you're going to sleep because you ate. Look at you.
Well,
eyes getting a little all
so
beady and
I
little.
was looking forward to seeing the seeing how they did the nerve block.
What did you say?
I was looking forward to seeing how they did the nerve block from the patient's perspective. However, we did that 46 hours of no sleep. Then I went to work and worked 10 hours, and then I went to work the next day and worked 10 hours, and then we had to be at the surgical center at 6:15 in the morning on the third day, and they gave me the medication to relax me.
No, it was not to relax you. That's not the medication.
She said, I'm going to give you some...
I don't care medicine.
Yeah.
I don't care that I'm going through pain.
Well, that was relaxing.
It was a local where you didn't feel them put the needle in.
I didn't feel shit because I was asleep.
You damn sure were, because it was hilarious. You woke up and you were like, did they do the nerve block? And I was like, yeah, it's done. You were like, no. I was like, yeah, the doctor came in here too with the anesthesiologist. You were like, no, they didn't. I was like, Karen, they've already written on your arm. You looked down. You're like, no way.
I don't even remember that part. I only remember waking up in the recovery room like, damn, they've already done it?
Oh, God. Yeah, and it was also very fast. It was very fast surgery. I don't even think you were in surgery for an hour.
I wasn't. She said I was in there for 26 minutes.
Yeah. Because he came out real fast. Pictures in hand. Here you go.
But they had me the first person of the day because when I had my sleeve surgery, I didn't wake up for 3 days, so they were anticipating that I wouldn't wake up easily. So they wanted me the first patient of the day.
I think they use, because of the kind of surgery you were getting and because of the length of time that you were going to be in surgery, you get a different kind of cocktail of anesthetic.
Just knocked the fuck out.
Well, no, not that. I'm talking about the during surgery stuff. And they don't give you as much so you can come out of it faster. As opposed to if it's going to be a longer surgery, then they give you a different cocktail that then keeps you under for longer.
That nerve block did its thing, though, because they told me that I was going to have a sore throat from being intubated. And I felt fine until 5 o'clock that evening. That's when I started feeling like I had a sore throat. And then all the next day my throat hurt. I feel fine now, but it was 5 o'clock when it almost on the nose, and I'm like, damn, my throat is raw. Why is my throat raw? I'm like, oh yeah, I had a tube crammed down it. Yeah,
and your arm also woke up way faster than mine.
Well, I didn't have to have 3 doses of it.
Yeah, mine, I had my entire arm was like a limp noodle for 2.5, 3 days. Mm-hmm. After the surgery. You were talking about tingling on the drive home.
Yeah, I could feel my fingers.
Right, and I couldn't feel a thing. Somebody could have run over my arm and I wouldn't have known anything at all. I felt nothing. I had to carry my arm for 3 days. You did not have that.
No.
But you got the same surgery that I had. And the recovery is going to be painful. It's the best way I can describe it. It's a painful recovery. Because even when you start to... Okay, the first 6 weeks, it's really about trying to get a good night's sleep. Honestly.
Because I don't think that's going to happen.
It will. It will eventually. But what's going to happen is you have to find a way to lay where you can lay down and not pull on your arm. You've got to find a way to make your arm immobile while you sleep, so that it doesn't move into a position that then causes you pain. Because I still have that.
Well, I have this gigantic thing, this brace, and it pretty much doesn't move when I lay down.
Yeah, but like I said,
but I'm in one position for so long, and then other parts of my body start hurting, and I'm uncomfortable, and then I can't. Like when I go to lay on my back, it's super painful.
Laying on your back is not going to work. That's why they tell you to sit up. That's why they tell you to get in a chair.
Well, last night this morning I woke up at 4, thanks to the freaking daylight savings time. Woke up at 4 and sat in the chair and just made a cup of coffee and had a banana, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have some coffee and a banana, and I'm just gonna chill and play on my iPad. And then I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Right, you should go to sleep.
And I fell asleep with the iPad on my lap, and I was like, well, this isn't a good idea.
Why? As long as you don't move, you're good.
Because I could move not knowing it's there, and then I could break my stuff, and then I'd be sad.
Don't be breaking
And then I ended up sleeping for a couple of hours in the chair.
Right. That's what they tell everybody. Is just, if you have a lazy boy style chair, make that the place where you sleep for the first couple weeks or whatever, because then you'll actually sleep, because your arm is being supported, it's not moving, and you're not in a position where, like you said, you are uncomfortable because you have to lay a certain way in the bed.
Well, last night I was so uncomfortable, I couldn't even be with myself. I was just so uncomfortable, and I had taken the medication.
Yeah, you gotta keep taking.
And I was just not right, and so I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, see if that helps. And it didn't really help. And then I'd get so thirsty while I'm sleeping.
That's easily fixable.
And then
drink water.
I have my bottle of water next to the bed, but it's not easy to like sit up and, try to finagle, trying to get the cap off the bottle. And I should just put a cup with a straw next to the bed.
Yeah, like the one you have next to you now. Wow.
I'm always worried about it getting knocked over and then getting everything wet.
Anyway. There was something you said I wanted to ask you about. Oh! Why are we having daylight savings time?
I don't know.
I
I thought
it
they
was
got
over.
rid of it, but apparently they voted it back. Even though, like...
Who voted it back?
The government voted it back.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because they were talking about it last night on the news.
What's up, people?
Oh, now you want to say what's up to the people?
I wasn't saying anything up until then. It was sitting in like that weird limbo when they were voting on it, and then they were just like, yeah, never mind, and then they never did anything with it. And we're just like, no, get it out of here.
So it's just...
Now it's
It
back.
never went anywhere.
Yeah, it never went anywhere. They proposed it, and it got like so far, and then
want
they
daylight savings
Do you know
time?
how many doctors have said how detrimental it is? Like mental health doctors, like all kinds of these people are saying medical
which way
professionals
is detrimental?
not having a lot of the doing the daylight savings time because it interrupts sleep patterns.
You're saying it's detrimental or it's not detrimental?
It is detrimental. It interrupts sleep patterns. It messes with people's mental health because of the sun stuff. Blah 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 blah.
I understand. The daylight savings time means you see more sun.
They're saying we shouldn't mess with the time. It should just stay.
Okay. But I mean, if being in the north and seeing more sun, you would see more sun because of daylight savings time, not less sun.
But there's really no reason to change it. We're not an agriculture society anymore.
No, I agree with you. I think it's stupid to keep it going, but
It's stupid.
I thought it had been finalized. I thought it was done.
No.
Okay. Yeah. What else you got for the people this week?
About that time to take some medication.
Yeah, it is. It was that time long ago. Don't get me started, bad patient. So, Aaron, when's your next surgery?
Oh, hell no.
I mean, you got to see. Your grandmother's had like 2, and Keegan's had 1, 2, and your mother's had 10, and I've had 1.
10? That's no. She's
In the
had
last
16.
couple of years, she's had like 10.
Not.
So
I swear this
It's
is
3.
94.
I've
So-
had
In our
3
lifetime.
since October of last year.
3 since October. 3 surgeries. I swear you literally go to work every day, and you use surgeries as your nap time.
I work a lot.
So, Aaron, what you gonna have surgery on now?
No.
I mean, you're next
Nothing.
up. You're next up.
I am
You're
not
next up with your knee.
No, Aaron's got to have a surgery before I have
No.
surgery on my knee.
I already had my 2. I'm good. I don't need to have any more.
All right, so
long as you
let's
don't keep
talk
cursing
about the
my show.
podcast. So we're back doing the podcast. I will be roping Karen into doing the podcast every week on schedule,
Our one Patreon.
getting out the podcast, talking about the stuffs that we deal with all the times. Because she's got stuff. She's got stories. She's like looking at me with a smirk
I
right
can't
now.
talk about.
But you
some
can
stuff.
talk. You can talk as much as I can talk about when we were in China. You don't use names. You change the names to protect the innocent. You know. You've seen the shows.
Protect the guilty, motherfuckers.
You know. Change the names. But yeah. So we're getting back on our regular schedule. Now here's the question. The YouTubes.
I prefer
What
that.
are we doing for the
I
YouTubes?
don't
Now I can probably finagle time during the day now to edit. But
I couldn't care less about
that means we have to
Although
that means bras and makeup.
Well, it also means that they are going to see the new me.
But I mean, yes, that is also true. Because the last time you were on if you go back and look at the last time you were on the podcast,
I was 180 pounds heavier.
You would not recognize yourself.
180 pounds heavier.
Not at all. So, yeah, I don't know. We got to do something. I'm leaning towards.
Boosted bras and makeup. Like, I don't do that every day ever. Anyway.
Yeah, but you do that when you get on the podcast and there's a camera.
But I do that every day.
Yeah, but you do it different when you're trying to, for the podcast.
Getting gussied.
You get gussied up.
Makeup and a bra every day.
Yeah, but
Like I
that's
said,
just everyday use. You
That's
don't
just
get
regular.
gussied.
That's the regular stuff. You use the good stuff for the podcast.
Oh dear.
It's
It's the same shit.
I guess we got to find a happy medium. I think for the regular podcast, the base stuff for the podcast will go on the audio. For the video, once we set it up and create a space for us to do video,
We don't have a space at the moment.
or we can use it. We just have to. Yeah, it'll look terrible. Our background is. We'll just tell everybody our background is. Our background
set?
is. No, it's a painting. It's not real.
Ah, yes, this painted image. Of
That's right.
this
It's just a fake
unfinished-
image behind
Unfinished
unfinished
this
basement.
green screen that makes us
That's
look
right.
like we're living in squalor.
Right. We are in an unfinished basement. Yeah.
This interactable green screen. Look, I can touch the walls and everything.
Ah,
even move
and
the
I can
boxes.
take the thing. I can move things.
It's VR.
So
Oh, AR.
And maybe the disembodied Aaron will show up and be on the podcast and not just stand looming over the microphone without saying anything. Reacting to
Saying
everything, though.
things. I couldn't say anything.
You got
I
anything?
didn't
You got
adjust.
anything? You got anything for the people? You got nothing?
He's
Wait
got-
a minute! You got like so much.
He's got a new job.
You got like 2 jobs now.
Yeah, I do.
You're a whole adult.
You got
No,
2 jobs.
Not a whole adult.
You got 2 jobs, but you also are you know, slinging your axe more often now. You're all about that guitar life.
Slanging the app.
Yeah,
That
man.
sounds horrible.
That's what you're doing.
I don't know if I'm slanging it anymore.
Well, you're now teaching it,
Yeah.
which is cool.
I'm so proud of you.
So, anything else for the people?
I need chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Speaking of chocolate cake, aren't there vegan cookies up there?
Yeah?
2 bags of them?
Packets, yeah?
Yeah. Let's get that done.
You're free.
No.
That-
I need your.
How am I going to do it
You
single-handedly?
can. No, you don't. You grab a Keegan.
Yeah, you grab a
Keegan doesn't need me. Just tell her to bake the
No,
cookies.
no, Keegan. I think
She
for this-
doesn't need me. She cooks. She bakes them on
need
her
you
own.
to. I need you to make sure that because they're bags. They're not the frozen ones. They're not. They're
Karen, she knows what she's doing.
just
Supervise.
oversee the Keegan
Make sure.
and the cookie making.
Please bake them.
Oh God, no! That's not what I want done. I want to make sure that the cookies that are up there get made, not just make Daddy some cookies. That is not what needs to happen.
She can't eat them.
I don't give a damn. I don't want her to.
I don't think
I
that
did
was
not
the
say I wanted other people to eat the cookies.
worry. But I don't think that was the worry.
Not at all. It was the making.
Right.
Why?
The worry was.
Look,
She
man,
makes
you,
them all the time.
Look, man, she doesn't. She's never made those bags of cookies before.
You-
Never.
Aaron,
We've never used them before.
Aaron, what are you talking about?
They're bags of cookies in the cupboard, not anything
Oh,
in.
no, that's not what I'm talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking about. That's why I said you
No,
need to
there's
oversee.
cookie dough in the refrigerator.
Right, that's what I'm saying. No, don't use that. What about the ones in the cupboard, man? Those look awesome.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
There's like 2 bags. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying don't send her to do the other ones. I want to try those other ones because they look good.
Well, you better get the bacon then.
That's what you're here for. You are Betty.
I am an
You
invalid right
are Betty. You can sit and direct the child. Betty.
now. As I'm wearing her shawl.
Betty. Got anything else for people? That's it. That's all y'all got.
I need pills.
You need
I have
pills.
a headache.
All right.
I don't know.
Well,
You want me to comment on what you've already talked about?
now,
As like a recap? Quick fire.
go.
No, what have you already talked
Oh
about?
God.
I haven't been here!
Puerto Rico. We talked
We talked about Puerto Rico. We talked
Oh.
about Spirit Air. We talked about meeting Hans.
This
we
was our
talked
first
about.
birthday without the children since they've been born.
Thank the Jiwa.
Hey, I missed my little babies.
Yeah, we
Why did
had-
you leave them if you were going to leave them and then miss them?
Because I needed
Because
a
she's
vacation.
weird. Same reason she rubs your back saying my back hurts.
Oh my.
Makes me feel better.
We talked about everything. You've heard everything.
We didn't do anything while you guys were gone.
I didn't ask.
You worked.
I literally didn't ask. You should have done something because I was never.
Well, I did do something.
Because I was
I came
never
down
going to
here.
ask what kind of debauchery you got up to while we were gone.
I came down here and used the big TV.
That's called a monitor.
Oh
It's
my.
a 43-inch monitor.
No, it's a TV. It's literally a Fire TV from the
No,
Amazon.
it is a monitor that is fire.
Stupid.
No.
43-inch
Not what
monitor,
that is.
2 feet from your face. Yes,
what that is.
that's a monitor.
Not what that.
While Karen is trying to maintain without screaming at this point because of the pain, because she didn't take her pain medication. People, send her messages on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok.
It's
I
not
don't
Twitter.
do
On her
TikTok.
on her OnlyFans.
I don't
Please
get one of those.
send her messages telling her to take her medicine.
I
not Twitter anymore.
I can't bring myself to call it X.
Because who's gonna sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, have you been on X today?"
They're starting to.
Only people who
People are
aren't
starting
old
to.
enough to know that it's
No,
Twitter.
no. People are starting to now, because it
It's
is
the same platform and not literally
No,
nothing but
but
the
it's-
name changed.
Yes, but the icon changed.
Okay, but that's a part of the name.
But that's just it. If you're telling somebody to go there, you can't say Twitter now because it doesn't say Twitter. It doesn't have a bird icon. It doesn't have any of that stuff. It's now something else. So now people now kind of have to come around and say it. I just don't want to.
We should just call it Twitter X.
I kind of want to call it something like Twitter, like
Or X
the
Twitter.
artist formerly known as Twitter.
The app formerly known as Twitter.
That's right.
That's like I don't know why HBO Max changed their thing from HBO Max to Max.
I think
and
because
then made an entirely
Cinemax-
new.
Cinemax, they combined, I think.
But why didn't they just change the name on their already existing platform instead of make a whole new one?
Because Cinemax, I think, got in there with them.
I know, but
They were-
nothing about their like UI or any of their no function of the app changed. But they made a new app.
Well, that's what if it's going to be new, like a new name, all the branding around that has to change.
Yeah, the branding has to change, but the actual app doesn't have to change.
Sure, because that's part of the branding. It's the look, it's the idea of it. Yeah, somebody gets paid to do a lot of useless work. Yeah.
Because that was annoying when I was like, oh yeah,
That's
I'll
what
go
works.
watch this thing on HBO Max, and it's like, oh, it's Max now. And
That's
I'm
right,
like,
it's
okay.
Max.
Now I have to go to a separate website,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then on my phone I have to download a separate
New app. Yep.
and then delete
Now,
the
what they
old
should have
one.
done is just updated their app.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
They
what
shouldn't
should
have
have
just
done.
made
But it still would have been new. It still would have
Right,
been
it still would
different.
have been different stuff, like Twitter. They didn't make a new thing called X. They just changed Twitter.
Yep.
That would be so inconvenient.
All right. We're back.
I don't have any things.
Happy 50th to our one and only patron. We need more patrons. So
51,
are you doing math?
49.
Thank you. We've already done this.
Yes.
If you want to find the Traveling Farrs, you can find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever awesome podcasts are sold for free at the Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters or X, I gotta change my paper. You can find us at Traveling Farrs. If you want to email Karen, you can use travelingfars@gmail.com because I don't ever check that. And our blog space is thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the Blueberry. At Blueberry, you can get all of our old episodes. And they're searchable. But they're only searchable for what's in the title. You can't search for content. Because everything we talk about in the show is not listed under each show. So you can... My suggestion, what I've been telling people over the last week, start at the beginning. Yeah. 2017. Macau. Do it. That's where you need to start. Because if you start there, then you can work your way up. You can hear about, basically you're going to be hearing about our time, our saga in China, and all the trips that we took, and all of that stuff. And you'll hear a lot about what we did when we were referring to and talking about being in China before and being in Thailand and all that good stuff. It's all there. Anybody who's looking to travel or leave the U.S. and go to other places, and that it's a fairly good resource if you are focused on doing the travel. If you want to hear directly from the traveling gnome, also known as Karen, if you want to know about her gnomey ways and moving and traveling around the world, it's all in there. It's all there. If you want to hear about crazy stuff that we encountered when we were in China, it's all there. weekly. It was all there. So, now, crazy U.S. stuff. And now it's cold and wintry in Michigan, and we're going to have lots to complain about.
Yes.
I like how both of you now have something to say.
Oh, I hate winter. I mean, winter sucks.
Hey, man. Winter sucks so bad that I actually feel like Puerto Rico was a dream. A shared dream. It was like
Literally,
Inception. We
you
all
got
were having
back
the same
and
dream.
We got dumped on.
Yes. We didn't really go anywhere. It was all just a dream.
Yeah, you
That
guys
looked good in
you guys are actually just in the beds with
Right.
with the little.
It was just
IVs
over.
in.
No. We were just in the bed
Just
overnight.
laying there.
And we just experienced an entire week
Yeah, you got incepted.
in our dream.
You got incepted. The idea.
Speaking of
booking the
movies,
flight
we
was-
need to start talking about the shows and movies, and we need to get on that because we've got a lot of shows and movies going on. You know that it's at the end of the week?
The Marvels come out on the 10th?
Yeah.
What?
The Marvels. That's I think it's in it this week.
I gotta watch Loki.
Yeah, this week.
That's the other Marvel thing.
Which is going to be kind of weird because Loki ends on Thursday night and Marvels come out on Friday. I don't think one's going to have anything to... It's not referencing the other, though. I don't think it could. Yeah, but we got a lot of Marvel stuff to talk about. So,
I didn't watch Secret Invasion yet. Or Loki.
look, man, you got to catch up.
But Secret Invasion is
time to
gonna
catch up.
matter for that, right?
For the Marvels? Maybe.
Because of Fury.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So, there you go. That's it. That's all y'all got. You both looking at the TV, so that means you're done.